I remember when Guns N' Roses broke, and I was in high school, and I was a senior. And the kids, freshmen and sophomores, started listening to Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses is the first band that I had the experience of saying, what are the young kids listening to? Like, I was a senior, but I was like, what is that? Because I didn't know any, but me and my friends were listening to Led Zeppelin, and Van Halen was like where we were at. And then freshmen and sophomores that had weird haircuts and were kind of fucked up, and they were listening to this Guns N' Roses, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was so different to me.
It was way above everything else out.
It was so from the gut. Like, you could hear every string of the fucking guitars. Like, it was such tightly wound, but I went nuts for it. I loved it. I still do. Every time I hear it, I still
freaked
go
out.
crazy.
I remember that, yeah.
It really is rare because rock and roll, especially by the 80s already, was such a fucking oversaturated, every color of the spectrum's out there, to have a sound that people go, that shakes everybody, you know?
Yeah,
it
rarely happens.
And it's weird to be, I mean, for me, you know, to be sort of, you know, to be inside of the thing and not being able to experience it from anywhere
You're not getting to be a Guns N' Roses fan. You didn't get to be a,
yeah, I mean,
you didn't get to be a fan.
Like, Slash, you know, at this, you know, it's so sort of iconic in some circles. Like, Slash's top hat could have come up on that pedestal, and people would have went crazy, you know,
exactly.
without even him
That's
in it.
how big the deal is.
So it went from us being like, you know, kind of street urchins. Really, it was a band from the gutter, and 5 guys. That's all we had was this music, nothing else, and it was that or kill somebody, really. And,
well, it's like the Beatles coming out of Hamburg. Like, that's what made them great, was playing the rough rooms. We have beer thrown at you.
Yeah.
You're wearing leather because it's actually protecting you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the thought that they were tough guys back when they were actually in
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
LA scene was such a, I mean, it was dangerous just because how strung out everybody was. Yeah. It was like it was hard to just survive. Yeah. And these guys found this, I don't know, you just tuned into this frequency.
Yeah.
I moved
played
to
this one
Hollywood.
note.
I moved to Hollywood in September of '84, and there was the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles in '84. September, the Olympics were over. So I guess what happened was the cops had cleaned up Hollywood, pushed everybody out, the hookers and the drugs and all that stuff. And there must have been some events in Hollywood, but I came right as the cops let down all the barriers.
Oh, and let everybody come back,
and the
flood back in.
floodgates were open. And I had no idea. I was 19 years old, and it was just dangerous. I didn't live in a high rent neighborhood. I lived in like the kind of the dregs of Hollywood. And it was for real. I mean, it was on. It was dangerous. There was ghetto birds over my apartment every night, helicopters.
Okay,
No, there was a time where you drove down Sunset and you had this feeling like, if I got out of my car, I could get killed and nobody will find me for a while.
Really, that bad?
Yeah, it was just seemed shitty and
seedy.
Real
but you know,
seedy.
and by the way, they came out of there, and it became one of them playing the Super Bowl for 5 seconds. That only happened, again, going back to our fucking earlier conversation, because of record stores in the 80s. Because some record store owner in Indianapolis said, this sounds fucking hot. I think this will move if I put it out there. And it grew, that's why he was able to come from the gutter up to mainstream, was through that system. It's like it's like a septic system or something.
Yeah,
like there's
receivers.
actually, and now if you got to go directly from your playing it to iTunes, you have to go right to mainstream. There's no coming up as much anymore.